What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? One Eyebrow back to talk about The Walking Dead and a Simon discussion. Season 8 discussion, Season 7 comic discussion as well. So, was Simon at the Sanctuary before Negan? Spoiler warning if you're not up to date of the show, the Here's Negan comic, and just general spoiler warning. So, we're going to talk about Simon, the Sanctuary, Negan, Dwight, and a couple things from 805. And it's just interesting to me that he possibly was there. Now, first, before we get started, if you can, guys, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers. I don't want you to miss out on any videos that we post daily about The Walking Dead, so stay in the know by subscribing. Now, let's get to the Simon discussion. Well, first, let me know your thoughts of Simon. Post your comments below. Do you like him, love him, hate him, think he's creepy, think he's fantastically creepy? Stephen Ogg, to me, does a great job of Simon. I think Simon is one of the best parts of the Saviors. To me, he's the quintessential bad guy in this world. I think he's a little more fierce and creepy and just what you would see in a villain in the world of it. So first I want to talk about the Walking Dead comic, Here's Negan. It's the 16-part mini-series of Negan. And if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it for all comic fans and Walking Dead fans and Negan fans, of course. But there's a couple different panels that I want to focus on right here. And there's 16 parts as a whole, but Negan is taking over the Sanctuary at the end of it. It leads all the way up to Here's Negan, basically, when he becomes Negan. And he overthrows a group to become the all-powerful Negan. Now, is Simon part of that group? We may never know, but that would be really cool if it was. Negan is in the comic, of course, and he's in the show. Simon is just on the show, so we don't see a comic connection with Simon because he's not there. But is he part of the group that Negan overtook, overthrown, overpowered, basically their leader in the comic? So again, if you haven't read the Here's Negan comic, it's not too crazy of a spoiler, but he becomes Negan. He finds a baseball bat that's in the group. He gets into a fight with the leader. He picks up the baseball bat, takes that guy out, and becomes the leader. Puts barbed wire around it after the fight, and becomes the Negan that we know today. Well, the start of it. And I hope we see more of it on the show. Dwight is actually in that comic as well. It's pretty cool to see how Negan meets Dwight in the comic. And then he comes to the show, of course, and Dwight is in the comic and the show. I like it because it answers some questions. And I like The Walking Dead in general. See, Dwight is right there before the scar, before he was burned. But Negan and Dwight were kind of running things. Negan comes about Dwight. I don't want to give too much away, but Dwight is there in the comic. I'll just say that. And Negan and Dwight have this connection in the comics. Simon is not there. So the possibility of having Simon be in that group is highly likely. We don't see that at all. There is no Simon character in the comics, but Dwight is in it. And it's before the Sherry, before the Iron, before all that stuff. And it's just pretty cool to see that. I hope they do a mini series of it. I've said it before time and time again. I would love to see, you know, an 8-episode or 6-episode mini series, mini part of Dwight, Sanctuary, Negan, Simon, and the Saviors. Now let's get back on track to the Simon-Negan connection here. Now during the dialogue in the meeting with Gregory and Simon and Negan, Gregory was trying to say, like, I run Hilltop, and Simon was on his side. But Negan saw right through that, and Negan was not impressed by that. But the two lines in particular, are we backsliding, Simon? And please tell me we aren't backsliding. Simon was like, oh, no, it's a situation. And he kind of was like, all right, because Negan was like, who's in charge? I'm in charge. You know that. Don't even try to play that, Simon. Don't tell me what to do. But the fact that he said backsliding, and you know, a backsliding is just a relapse into bad ways. So are we going backwards? Is it back to before Negan ran things? Is it back before the world was just chaos, before Negan had the set of rules? Was Simon in charge of the Sanctuary before Negan got there? Was Simon part of that group with a different leader at the time? I hope to find out. That would be pretty awesome if they brought that to the show as well. I guess it's just a discussion and my theory at this point because we just don't know. And I'm interested to know your thoughts of that because I like Simon. I would like to see more of a backstory of that too, just because it's interesting to me. I think he's just a weird, creepy kind of guy that kind of fills the villainous role of the Saviors, but you kind of like him, you kind of don't like him. I don't know. I like Stephen Ogg, and I like the portrayal here of Simon. And I would like to think that Simon was part of the group at the sanctuary before Negan got there, and Negan came and took out the previous leader. Negan feels that people are a resource. He relies on people. You're going to work for me. I'm going to save you. We are the saviors. We're going to save everybody, but you are going to work for me. Simon took a knee, and that was it. Now Negan's in power. Simon, I don't know if there's any hard feelings or ill will between the two, but I would assume that Negan sees Simon as his right-hand man that we knew in season 7 or season 6, at the end of season 6 into season 7. But Simon has always been linked to Gregory and the Hilltop, and it was cool to see the dynamics between Simon and Dwight and Eugene and Negan and everything there too. And then it's always good to see Simon being Simon, I guess, and it's just his interactions with Rick. You kind of fear what he would do. Even though he hasn't really done anything, I think we're going to see more of that in season 8. There's a lot of rumors going around with some big plot lines with Stephen Ogg and Simon, so Simon should be around for a long time in season 8. Yeah, hopefully he is. I want to see that for sure, but I'm not doing a spoiler video. That's other stuff. But Simon, to me, is a great savior. I don't think he's like slimy and grimy that much like Davey was. But Negan and Simon, what do you think of it? Could you see that Negan, if you know the Here's Negan comic book, or the comic series, the 16-part little series, you could see what I'm talking about, right? And if you haven't, definitely pick it up. It's on Amazon for like $14 or $15 or something, and it's a good read, especially if you like Negan and the show and the comics, and if you haven't done it already, it's a super quick read. But what do you think of it, guys? Check out the comic series, let me know, and if not, just post your comments below anyway. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the PT channel. We post stuff there all the time on social media. Facebook, the Walking Dead community Facebook page and group. We got mystery boxes coming and going, all this good stuff. You got to be a member of that for some giveaways. My Fight For Us book series. I got books 1, 2, 3, and now 4 online, Amazon.com. Kindle versions are coming out as well. So that's it. Book 4, Fight For Us Conquered. Let me know, guys, about Simon, my book series, all that good stuff. And thank you for watching.